Mandy is the founder of potency number 710. Mandy, if you can unmute, there you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Mandy. I founded Potency, which is a CBD-based beauty line. I come from the beauty side of things. One thing I think that's really cool about the beauty side is when you're using CBD in beauty, you can actually see a really amazing result. Unlike taking a tincture or a gummy, we're not sure we can't see what it's doing to the person, but with beauty, you can actually see your result. I have pulled up a few different images of different types of skin that have been benefiting from the Potency line. And I'm going to try to share my screen with you. This is always fun. And I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'm trying to get that to be full screen for you, but I think I need to push F11. Let's get this to a full screen. Can you see the logo here? Okay, let's get a full screen. Okay. And I didn't do my full screen. Sorry, y'all. I got to go back to my full screen here. Here they are. Okay. I excuse the address bar at the top. Okay, can you see the logo there? Everyone, can you see?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Mandy, the founder. That's when I used to get to dress up and go places. Welcome to the beauty side of CBD. As you know, it's a growing market. I'm going to show you a few different examples. This was a girl who has had several surgeries and had a reaction to a chemo drug. She was in the hospital, and several of my clients, in case you all don't know me, I'm an esthetician for 23 years. I also am very connected to cannabis, much like Davina. I grew up around the plant. We had grows illegally in our house all my life, and my dad was the local drug dealer for many years and spent about 14 years of my life in prison for marijuana. I could never figure out why my dad kept going to jail over a plant. I have decided to take that stigma and turn it into something beautiful with Potency, so I didn't let that affect me growing up. This is a young girl who got into her mother's skincare stash over the weekend. And if you know teenagers, if they get one blemish, it's the end of the world. So this was on a Friday to a Monday, and she even snapped a cute little before and after photo of how she cleared up her skin. And you can see in her smile how much happier that made her. So it's actually kind of cool to get into your mom's stash these days. The girl over here to the other side, you can see the eye area. The doctor, I believe, told her, he said it was an autoimmune disorder. She goes through this every winter. And this was 2 days after using a 100 milligram full spectrum CBD serum. So that was pretty impressive for her to be able to open her eyes in the morning. You can see that after picture. This is a lady who is 76 years old. This is just showing you as far as aging, how it can kind of reverse some damage that she had done over the years. This was the décolleté area. You can see some spider web wrinkling there. Obviously, it's from free radical damage in the sun and just aging, loss of collagen. And if you can look over here, 2 weeks later, she sent me a nice after picture. I begged for before photos. I know it's very important with this being an ingredient in beauty and it being so new to the world, that documentation is everything. And I have tons of photos, and since we can't make claims, I believe I let the photos speak for themselves, but you can see the décolleté area really improved within a 2-week period. I've always been a big believer in plant oils. I've always worked with plant oils as an esthetician. I'm also on the cannabis side. We have 2 stores in Needles, California, and one of them is vertically integrated, so I am on the cannabis side of it as well. But I tend to play more on the CBD side and let my fiance do all that hard work on the other side. This is a lady who came into our cannabis store, the reason I mentioned, and we gave her a sample, and you can see here, she's also in her late 60s, and this was 2 days later. They sent me a picture of how it helped give her a little bit of relief. So I'm kind of here today just to show you what all these other people pitching are trying to tell you, is that this is something amazing. This Girl over here is headed to college this year. She had a lot of acne in the stress area, which is normally in that cheek area, is associated with, I always say stress. I always think the diet's up here in the forehead and this hormonal area in the chin area. And you're not going to believe it, but this is also a weekend transformation. She had been using a Biore charcoal cleanser. I asked her to ditch it, and the doctor had her on a medication. Because this is my cousin's kid, I said, just put that to the side for a minute. And this is what we got over a weekend, and her skin still remains clear to this day. The other lady over here is going to show you pigmentation, sun damage, also known as sun damage. Some of us show pigmentation. Some of us get broken capillaries with the free radical damage as well. And she also had the darkness under the eye. And you can see also, again, you won't believe it, this is a weekend transformation. These are people who used a very tiny 2 milliliter sample of the gold serum, which has a blend of 20 other plant oils in there. And much like Davina, I'm huge on ingredients. I was crazy when my son was born at what diaper I was going to put on him. That's how crazy I was. I won't give him medicine with red dye number 40 in it. So I've also been very meticulous at the ingredient choices when doing this line. This is a really tough one. This was a 6-month transformation. The doctor said this is psoriasis. She used all the medications that they gave her throughout the years. And the only thing that seemed to have really kicked it was the gold serum. And she got a really amazing result with inflammation here. Her last picture, I even have a better one now, her skin still has continued to improve. One of the things that these clients have all noted to me is this did not burn like many of the prescription medications that they were given throughout their times of having skin issues. Another thing is, you know, in the beauty market, acne products are huge, and I believe that the acne is going to do really well with this as an ingredient, CBD in the products as an ingredient for acne. Accutane is a nasty, nasty medicine that has a lot of side effects for these young teenage girls, and it can cause depression. So I find this to be just a really nice way to avoid all of those secondary issues. And this is my actual product line. Out of the 7 products, 4 of them have the CBD in it. My sunscreens do not, and neither does my cleanser. I did not want to waste that oil in a cleanser since you just wash it off. And that's it. That is my screen share for the day. And I just wanted to be able to show you all that. And hopefully you can kind of see what CBD is actually really doing from the beauty side of things.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much, Mandy. Does anybody have any questions? I know looking at this, there's a lot of medicinal value, I think. What is your opinion on going into existing marketplaces like the West Coast or going into a more medical market like Oklahoma? Where are you seeing the most traction from online orders?
You know, I have they say a cult-like following from Kentucky, the Midwest. So I seem to get a lot of clients from the Midwest. You know, they go through those 4 seasons and it's brutal to their skin. I love the medical side of things because I worked alongside a very famous physician for the first 10 years of my aesthetic career when I was 20. And I like the medical side, and it's very confusing to me because I almost want to redo or revamp my whole line to gear more toward the medical side. I don't know how to explain which way I want to go yet. That's why I'm not one of these people pitching looking for money, because I'm just growing my brand slow. I got advice one time to crawl, walk, and then run. And right now I'm walking pretty fast, and my sales have increased, extremely increased since COVID. So I'm onto something, and I'm just going to hold it to myself as long as I can and enjoy all that profit as long as I can. And with the demographic, as far as what age I'm seeing buy my product, it's really hard to pinpoint my demographic, and everybody says that's impossible. You should know your demographic. But what my demographic has tended to be teenagers all the way up to 80 years old. So it's really hard for me to determine what my demographic is, other than this is becoming a household product, because I'm having people also utilize it for, I had a lady who burned herself with a curling iron and it took it away immediately. I had somebody burn themselves on the stove. So it's almost like I would love for it to be that household product, instead of reaching for that Neosporin or that cortisone cream, to be able to reach for a really cool CBD product. But again, I'm from the beauty side, so that's what I know is the beauty side more so than the cortisone and Neosporin and the home household product side. But gosh, there's just an array of things we can do with this ingredient, and I don't see why anybody going forward would not add CBD in a product just as they would vitamin E or vitamin C, because it's just been proven to be a very strong antioxidant and a badass free radical fighter.
Absolutely. I just had actually a 40-year-old man ask me on Facebook the other day about acne. And so I was going into diet, like dairy and wheat and some other inflammatories, but this is a product I would absolutely recommend. I'm curious though, can I recommend this to international clients? Do you have a full spectrum that could be an issue for anything that's over 0.3%?
Mine is not over 0.3%, but I am not sending international just yet. Like I said, I've just been going kind of slow, maybe slower than what most people think I should be going, but I read a lot of stories about people who rush to retail or rush to international, and I've just been trying to make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's and be very careful, because I've got something good.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm working with the World Trade Center on their export store e-commerce platform, and I've noticed that over in Asia, Japan really kind of starts with their own Hollywood version, and then that'll pick up from the South Korean company, and then you'll find out in Thailand later on that it's became popularized through Japan. And so that whole, like within Southeast Asia, it's just kind of its own bubble. And so I would definitely see something like this kind of gaining some traction. CBD already is flying off the shelves in Japan that we're seeing from some of our clients with the World Trade Center. So I'm excited to see, where you go internationally. I think domestically and internationally, there's opportunities with either sun or people eating bad things, creating inflammation and
reversing your past. A lot of people didn't start skincare or self-care until COVID, because self-care, people got real serious about self-care when COVID hit, probably even more so than before. And I'm sure most of them people can agree that the CBD sales increased quite a bit, because and I also think the beauty side of this is who's going to lead everyone into this world of CBD, because I believe people will start first with a topical versus an ingestible, because a lot of people are still scared, or am I going to get high if I eat this CBD gummy? And so I think with beauty, to me, we're leading the way to open up the doors for people to become more comfortable with CBD. And we're just trying to get as much education out there as we can. And I've upped my blog game. And I'm just hoping that the big people, Prima and all those that are going out with their clinical studies and all the things they're doing, are leading the way. And it really helps us indie brands.
Hey, thanks. Josh, you don't mind if I jump in here, since this is an investor hot seat? What would you like to leave the investors with here? If you're not raising capital, very happy to hear your success. I think we all believe the things you're talking about. As you move from you and your team building this business to a team, to being able, because you have to have a team to go out and do it in the right way at the right time, whenever that happens. What can you leave investors with here, Mandy, that we can, know about your business, or what questions can we even ask you?
I just believe that, gosh, first of all, I just hope the plant brings us peace. I always say that because I just want the plant to bring peace. But what I can leave for you investors is that beauty always sells. And you know that. Even during the Depression, red lipstick and lipstick sales were always hot. So beauty will always sell. I think if it's a beauty product that also has a wellness aspect to it, that has also a purpose. It has to have a purpose. The products have to be purpose driven. I don't think a lot of the products with all the fluff are not going to survive. I think the ones who have a purpose and that can document and show the results, I just think it's going to help along the way, because this is still so new. CBD as an ingredient in beauty is just still so new. But from what I'm hearing, The documentation is everything. So I beg and beg for before photos. I don't know many brands that are out there saying, please take a before photo and then compare it in a few days and see if our product's working. The majority of them won't get the results that I've been getting that quick.